No longer support a forensic audit.
Say it again.
You no longer support a forensic audit, just a regular
Right
audit?
now, all I'm asking for is an audit. Right now.
Not a forensic audit, though.
Right now, I'm just asking for an audit, and if something happens from there, we'll know. Okay?
Okay,
I'm
thanks.
just supporting an audit, okay?
Well, there's going to be an audit.
Yes.
But you had requested a forensic audit earlier.
I never asked for a forensic audit, I just said an audit, a state audit.
You requested a forensic audit.
No, sir, I didn't.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank
I
you.
asked for a state audit. Thank you.
Why the change of mind?
I didn't change my mind. I just said a state audit.
Ms. Tolliver's request for the state audit or forensic audit, as Mayor McCamey explains in this segment, was discussed on January the 4th, 2021. Here is the segment.
Number 5, discuss the request for the state audit. Ms. Tolliver, I don't know if you want to speak on it first, or I'll let the mayor, he did some research. Okay.
I spoke with Mr. Barry Crabb with Alabama League Municipalities last week, and he stated that the state is required by law to do audits on counties and agencies only, not municipalities. He said that the council could request a forensic audit of the city that sent a letter to the Alabama Department of Public Examiners. He said there's only 1 or 2 cases he knows that's happened. It would have to be more specific. He also indicated that because they cover counties, or they're required to do counties and agencies, as he put it, it may be 12 to 24 months before we even see it because of their staffing and workload. As far as the cost, it's hard to come up with a cost not knowing specifically what they would be looking at. The forensic audits are apparently in-depth and pretty expensive.
You heard Mayor McCamey mentions forensic audit as
I am still working on some things, if you don't mind.
from League of Municipalities.
Asking some more questions. So if I can get with the,
We'll put this on the next work session.
thank you.
We'll move that to the next work session on 25th.
However, Ms. Tolliver, in requesting that, has no specific item to bring forth to the city, to the current auditors of Gannett Croft and Associates, or the state, of any area that needs auditing. However, I brought in one of my presentations to the City Council several areas of concern that where a forensic audit would be appropriate. And I mentioned those areas where a forensic audit would be appropriate and explained to the City Council and the Mayor that any political official of the City of Scottsboro, the City Council, or the Mayor, if they wanted, I would provide them the information that I had, but they did not request anything from me. It is almost like they're afraid to know what has gone on for the past decade within the City of Scottsboro. Property accountability is atrocious, but that's just one issue. There has also been issues of financial accountability, and all this is documented on my blog within the past 10 years, within the past decade. But if they don't want to know it, well, I guess they just don't want to know it. And so that's where it stands now. The regular audit will continue, and I doubt there'll be any special audit of the city. It would surprise me if there would, and I'm not sure if they want a special audit. Another reason for a special audit or a forensic audit would be transparency. Most of the time, City of Scottsboro is transparent in disclosure of records. Sometimes they are not. The issue with the Wheeler affair is one such occasion. And speaking of the Wheeler affair, here we have the finance director, Rick Wheeler, making a presentation to the City Council on December the 14th, 2020. I spoke to Mr. Steve Kinnemer, the city attorney, on Friday, February the 26th, 2021, about a records request. That records request entailed work product of Ms. Hope Hicks regarding sexual harassment or creation of a hostile work environment in the workplace, disciplinary action, write-up that involved Mr. Rick Wheeler, the finance director, and Mr. Rick Wheeler, the finance director's reply. It was a good conversation with the city attorney. He explained to me that the records request was being referred to the Attorney General of the state of Alabama in an unofficial capacity. Not a written request, but an unofficial capacity to determine if they could actually release the records. Previously, they refused to release the records. The disciplinary action that Mayor Shelton signed regarding Mr. Wheeler, and as I understand it, after inquiries and to Scottsboro employees and various individuals, that the work product of Ms. Hope Hicks, the attorney, which the city of Scottsboro paid $11,800 to, her work product was the reprimand contained and wrote by Mr. Shelton, the former mayor of Scottsboro, regarding Rick Wheeler. As I also understand, Mr. Wheeler obtained legal counsel, and Mr. Wheeler advised in his reply to the disciplinary action that Mr. Shelton, former Mayor Shelton, had wrote regarding him, regarding creation of a hostile work environment, and recommendations made thereof, was unfair, and that Mr. Wheeler's due process was denied, and it would not be right to release that document. However, personally, the due process has not been denied. He has not been denied a court hearing. He has not been denied a presentation before the city council. Now, whatever ramifications that the city has gone through previously between Mr. Wheeler and the previous mayor, I don't know. However, I do know there's two documents that exist. One is Mr. Wheeler's reply to the mayor's disciplinary action. I want to see both those documents. I think the city of Scottsboro has a right, the citizens of the city of Scottsboro has a right to see those documents. It's my intent to publish those documents. So the issue of transparency, that, in my opinion, in my thoughts, is a reason for accountability issues to go forth to determine if in all instances that documents have been released to citizens who have requested them as pertaining to the law. But if you don't request a specific, if you don't put forth a specific question to an auditor, they can't answer you. And that's the problem. There was the issue of the boat. There's the issue of property being sold. The issue of the city of Scottsboro paying for repairs of a church. In this case, it was a church which was leased from the city of Scottsboro for very reduced money, and the city of Scottsboro made repairs on that church, which appears to be in contradiction to the state of Alabama, even though it is city of Scottsboro property. However, there are other issues regarding property going back several years, and that should be looked at in an audit. But again, if you don't place forward specific questions of what you want the auditor to look at, he can't provide you an answer. And that is the problem within the city of Scottsboro. So the first time the state audit or forensic audit situation was brought up was on December the 14th. of 2020. And here's that short video of Mrs. Nita Tolliver, City Council member.
I would like to bring before the board that I would like, sorry about that, I'm one of those victims with COVID, but I'm done, I'm clear. But I would like to bring in front of the board tonight that I would like to have a city audit, finance. Thank you.
Now, I'm gonna get you there, before you get there. You talk about city audit, of course, the city does an audit each year.
Right.
Are you asking for a separate audit from the one that we know?
I would like to have a state.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're asking for a state audit.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. President, just so everybody's aware, we did sign the agreement with our auditors this week, or last week, I'm sorry, for the annual audit. So it is already engaged.
State.
No, not state, the regular.
I want state.
Now, just for clarification, as you've seen in the Department of Public Examiner's handbook, and as Mayor McCamey explained earlier in the video, that the state does not do audits of municipalities unless there's a special request, or unless the city or the municipalities does not turn in the regular required audit. So it was explained again that the state audit for which Ms. Tolliver is requesting for a municipality, the city of Scottsboro, it would be a forensic audit. Scottsboro City Council meeting, December the 21st, issue of state audit or forensic audit. Presentation by Croft and Associates and Ms. Tolliver.
Next is discuss the request for a state audit. Ms. Nita, Ms. Tolliver.
I have asked that our board, I've asked that our board come up with the state to come in to audit us. I feel like with a new mayor, 2 new council, I feel like that we need to make sure that things are running the way they should be. And I feel like things are, but I feel like let's just know what is, I'm gonna take this off just for a minute. I just wanna know, as a new member, where our money's at, and everything is up to par. And I feel like that would be great for a new mayor, new council members that's coming in, and even the old ones. I just feel like that, guys.
I see.
And plus, the city of Scottsboro needs to know. Okay? We have citizens here that needs to know.
I get somebody from Gant Croft to come speak on y'all's audit for me. Gene, just kind of go over basically what your audit does, what we do yearly.
Okay, the audit we perform every year is an audit performed in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards. That audit is an annual audit that's required by the state law. All municipalities in Alabama have that annual audit. We do also occasionally perform a compliance audit over your federal programs. That audit's done in accordance with uniform guidance. And that audit is required in any year that you expend more than $750,000 in federal funds. So that would be different types of federal grants, such as some money that flows through airport grants. But there are some years that you spend more than $750,000 in federal funds, and other years that you don't. So the years that you don't spend that over that threshold, you're not required to have that federal funds audit.
As far as a state audit, how much different would it be than what you already do?
I really have no idea. Just understand there are different kinds of audits, different types of audits. And Audits can have different scopes and objectives. So I really don't know what kind of state audit you guys are contemplating, or even which, I don't know if it'd be the examiners of public accounts that would be performing that audit. So can't really answer that question, a good answer, because it could be a different type of audit. But even if it were the same scope and objective, two audits are going to be performed a little bit differently, because one audit firm is going to look at certain things and the other audit will look at different things. There's auditor judgment involved in both of those audits as to what we look at. However, as part of our audit, I need to know if you guys have concerns, because that kind of helps me focus my audit where there is risk. And so if there are areas that you guys have concerns about, I need to know about it so I can look at them as part of my audit.
It'll be good to know that way in the future. If there's any questions,
Yes.
I'm sure any of us could call your office. Sure. Yes. Anybody else have any questions for
I
you?
got a question for Mr. Kenner, the historian, I guess. Has the city ever been, have a state audit done?
The city has, well, let's start off. The mayor has the authority under the statute to hire the auditor, and the council has the obligation to pay for it. That's the law. The council has the right, if they choose, to hire or obtain its own audit also. I think there have been 2 years out of the last 30, maybe, where that's been done. Okay. And one of them, I believe they hired a private auditing firm down in Birmingham. And I believe in the other, the state Department of Public Examiners was involved.
And do you know how long ago that was?
It's been a long while.
Anyone else have any questions on that?
Mr. Oliver,
Yes.
are you aware of any irregularities that might spark this?
No, as a new city council, I feel like, as a person coming on, I want to make sure things are run right. I don't see a problem with that, Mr. Cross, associates. I'm not saying anything y'all have did wrong. I want you to know that. I just feel as a new city councilman, I feel like that I want to know that things are run right before we get started in my 40 years. Okay?
Mr. McCain, do you have any kind of estimate of what the state audit would cost?
I do not. Can check on that this week, and we'll, through the holidays, that I can find somebody and check on and see what the cost would be. Now, are you talking a private audit firm, or are you talking examiners of public accounts? Examiners of public accounts.
Yes. Excuse me, Mayor, I'm sorry. I do know that our city schools, they did the same thing. They did an audit. And maybe we can talk to some of them.
I don't disagree with it, but I think we would need to table it until we find out what the cost is so we can do a budget amendment.
That's fine with me. It's fine with me. But I feel like we do need it.
Anybody else have any questions on that? If not, we're going to move that to the general work session again, and we'll talk about it.
The audit discussion continues. This was from last night's City Council meeting, March the 1st, 2021.
Number 9, discuss the request for a state audit. Ms. Oliver?
Yes, Mr. President. I
have brought before the board about a second audit. This is how I feel about all of this. The fundamental purpose of a financial audit is to give an elected officials and citizens assurance that their finances are true and are not tampered with. Not only that, a financial audit is not a witch hunt. It is a statement of activities that will show areas of need improvement. Okay? As a councilwoman and the councilman that is up on this board with me, I feel like that we owe it to our citizens to show them that we can follow through with things and that we are on task with every area of our financials. And so I'm asking y'all to think about this, and I'm throwing it out there to let y'all know that I am on board with a second audit, and I would like for you to be on board with me. Thank you.
I'll get a few things, but anybody else have anything, discussions with Mr. Oliver on this?
If not, just want to clarify, the city does an audit each year. So it's not that there's not an audit, and you do have a copy of last year's audit, correct?
Yes, I received it today.
Okay. And there's an audit ongoing at this moment for this year, this past year's. I've talked with the mayor on this. Also, mayor, we looked at some prices, and our audit right now, I'd say is close to $60,000, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And to do another audit would be, they would do the exact same thing, but it's pretty much the same results. Am I correct?
That'd be correct. It could be a little bit less, up to $40,000, but it would not include a single audit, and it would not include extra GASB reporting.
Yes.
So it would not be quite as much, but it would still be $40,000.
Mr. Will, you deal with the audits. If we were to do another audit like that, just tell me if I'm wrong, common sense will tell me if we just do the exact same audit, we're going to get the same results.
More than likely you are. What you will get is there will be different things that will be selected by the two different firms. They wouldn't select, if they have one invoice that one selected, the other people might not select the same invoice. So there will be some different selections made by each different firm, but their standards that they follow will be the same.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, I guess I'm trying to ask you, since you deal with audits more than we do as a council, what kind of audit would we be interested in asking for?
It depends on what you want. I mean, what you're looking for. If you're looking for the same information that you're going to get from the auditors that have already been engaged with, which is Gancroft and Associates, then bottom line, you're probably going to get the same, or you would get the same opinion from each one of those two. And they will issue opinion that says that the financials are fairly stated, just like we normally get every year, and have, I've been here for 23 and a half years and been through 23 and a half audits, or 23 audits.
Okay.
But this is what I'm asking, again, I'm not talking out.
No, the floor's open.
You said you've been here how many years? 20, I'm sorry, 20 what now?
23.
23, I'm sorry, I have a hearing problem. I'm just being honest. I understand that you've been here 23 years and everything, but this is a problem with me and citizens of Scottsboro, and I'm speaking for them too. This is how we have always, let me take this off just a minute. This is how we have always done it. Yes, is that correct? Not for sure if that's correct. But maybe why are we always doing it this way? You know, what's wrong with a change? That's all I'm asking the city. What is wrong with a change? Nothing's wrong with change, right?
And there was another auditing firm that did it probably.
In 07, right?
Probably, yeah, somewhere along in there.
Okay.
And they did it for a couple of years.
Okay.
Question from Mr. Wheeler.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Wheeler, when they do these audits, do they look into like procedural, like how money is deposited and deposits and the procedure of those, how money gets up here?
Yes, they did.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
I would make a suggestion that we put it on the next meeting and vote on it, either yes or no, either have auditor move on.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm all for that, and I've told Nita over and over again that I would support her in anything she wants to do.
Thank you.
But I just want to make sure we know what kind of audit we're asking for.
Yeah, there's all kinds of audits.
Yeah.
All kinds.
And so,
Compliance audits.
before we vote on an audit, are we just gonna ask for the same general audit that we pay for to have done every year? Or are we asking for a certain audit, a different kind of audit?
I believe a forensic audit's a little bit more in depth.
I'm not asking for a forensic audit.
Well, that's when they really get into, you know.
Ms. Cameron, how much you can tell me on this? If when they say forensic audit, you have to say what you were looking for.
That's a general rule.
So,
I get the impression, though I've not talked in detail with Ms. Toller,
Yes.
that she's looking for what's called compliance audits.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the word, compliance.
It's a regulation.
Compliance.
Well, I'm going to stop it right here. The city attorney suggests to her compliance, and she agrees, oh, we need a compliance audit. Well, she requested a state audit. Look at state audit. It has been explained numerous times that a state audit is a forensic audit. Again, specific mentions of property accountability, financial accountability have occurred. Questionable instances have occurred in the city of Scottsboro. It's been documented. It's documented in my blog. It's documented in the council minutes, for that matter. I'm having a problem understanding what the exact problem is with conducting a forensic audit and specifically naming those things which are problematic within the city of Scottsboro. 1, property accountability. 2, financial accountability. Those items have been discussed previously, even within this audit context video here. I laid it out. Simple terms. Property accountability, financial accountability. There has been instances where people have been arrested for stealing money from the city of Scottsboro. The Wheeler affair was initiated, the problem with disciplinary action, because of financial accountability with the jail. Now, what is the darn problem here with these council members? They're not aware of the historical past, number one, but some of them are. Some of them have been here a long time. Gary Stewart's been here a while. Mr. Kenner's been here. It's very easy to review my videos, for that matter. I don't get any money for this. I don't care if they review them or not, actually. But it's their responsibility to bring forth any information that will make them knowledgeable as to why a forensic audit should be accomplished. Now, Ms. Tolliver has said that she wants a state audit. Once again, I'm just not, it seems to me, I'm not understanding now. And I really believe that someone should sit down with her and explain to her what a state audit means. That means bringing the State Department of Public Examiners in, taking a look at those items which are problematic. I've already laid them out to you. I made a list. I made myself available to the council members of the city of Scottsboro. Not a one of them have contacted me. I actually don't think they want to know the truth. I think they're BSing the citizens. Now let's listen to the rest of this. That's my point.
That makes it easy, thank you. So,
We're in compliance with, we have government laws. Are we in compliance with all the laws? Okay?
so, Mayor, let me ask you, can you look into this week and see what it would cost for us as far as a compliance audit?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I'm gonna go ahead and put that on next week's meeting, and that way he can come back with the totals before we vote on it.
So to clarify, we're going compliance with
Finances.
Once again, there's more to an auditing process than just finances, property accountability, information systems accountability. One thing somebody should be asking the question is, the city of Scottsboro have in their information technology systems, do they have the proper software available to prevent hacking into the city of Scottsboro, to prevent phishing attempts which would steal data from the city of Scottsboro? There's a lot of different items for an audit that should be placed forward and asked the question, but they're not doing that. They're just beating the issue around. True that the city of Scottsboro is undergoing an audit currently. To have another audit within this period, maybe it doesn't make sense. Sorts of questions that could be asked. That's not happening. More on this current video.
So I'll make sure I ask the right questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll move that to next week's meeting.